Whoa, we're back with some Dokkan Battle, and we'll be talking about this baby release, who should be releasing in, as of recording this, I mean, I'm gonna try to get it up before the maintenance ends, before, you know, the banner actually goes live, but 5 hours, I think, is when this will be releasing. That's when I'm recording this, and he is sort of an interesting character. So, there is a decision that people need to make. They need to sort of come to grips with making this decision, and that decision is, what are you going to do for the rest of the year? Because we're now in sort of the down period and purview of the actual, you know, 11th anniversary. We can see it. It's coming. It's going to be there soon, and soon, quote unquote. And the remaining celebrations aren't really too meaningful. You can see Glorio and this Goku here are probably the two most meaningful, interesting releases that we got before the 10th anniversary. And in the case of Glorio, he was extremely good. You could still run Glorio. Glorio's pretty amazing, right? The Goku was good to fine as he sort of rounded down in power. He was much more of a standard character, but Glorio is literally one of the strongest supports we've ever gotten, right? So with that in mind, like we're almost there. We're at the edge of Dokkan 10 years, essentially, right? Like the 10 year will probably not do anything that will elevate it in the memories of people. You know, that it's going to be what it is right now for the rest of the year. Probably. Grain of salt. But in the case of this baby, who is very sleek, I'm not going to go over his kit or anything because you've probably already seen that. We do arrive at a pretty interesting character because he is not only very strong, but he helps a very fun team, and he's probably the new best TUR. That said, I actually opened this up in advance of this. Being the best TUR doesn't mean much. So we have Baby here. We have his banner unit. We have, who is the last TUR? The Golden Week characters. Right? Who are done. They're done. And one of them was never good. We have Perfect Cell, who was fine. We have Kid Goku, who's great, was great, and should be returning on this banner, though Kid Goku is not worth much at this point. But as I continue to go down the list, you can sort of see the picture I'm painting, right? Like, there isn't really any competition for this slot. He's going to be number one without even effort, essentially, right? And then here we have the Vegeta from Daima, and now we're back in last year's Dokkan, right? We're in New Year's. So that is something to consider. We could also tack Easy A's onto here. There's no way he's worse than this character. There's no way he's worse than the Kefla that Easy A, nor is he worse than the Gogeta or the Shinsenron, or any of the sub Easy A's for that matter. Definitely not worse than these guys, and he's definitely not worse than Yacha. So yeah, this is probably the character that he would be facing off with in terms of the lower end of the Easy A tier list or for TURs, but we're not even considering those. So yeah, he should be relatively powerful. He should be a relatively powerful character, and that is going to enable some people to pull. And I just want to talk about some of the reasons you might pull, and then I want to talk about some of the reasons you shouldn't pull. The first ones being that his animations are pretty great. As far as actually, let me pull those up. So I'm gonna pause a sec. There we go. So as I was saying, his animations are pretty great. There are some shots that look really good. I mean, Goresh, I think, said that in his active skill, in his transformation and such like that, like, there are some shots that literally look AGL Gogeta level. And I know that people like will be like, oh no, you know, because that's Gogeta. Like, this shot is an AGL Gogeta level, right? Like, obviously. But there are shots of him as Super Saiyan 2 baby going into Great Ape that literally look like ridiculous. So like this again, this looks like a you know, standard fare DFE. And then we go on to this. This looks incredible. I don't know what they were doing where like this looks like this. Oh, why is it freezing up? Come on. No. Oh man. Don't tell me we're not gonna get into the video. I don't know what they were cooking where they were like, this looks incredible. Oh man, I guess it is broken. But yeah, that there are just some like little tidbits of this character that cook a little harder, right? And this is obviously that LR, that EZ8 LR, the AGL Super Baby, his final flash, but made much, much better. So good animations across the board, as well as just a strong character who should be doing a lot. If you like Festival of Battles, he is another Festival of Battles character. He's a Festival of Battles character who should be insane because he's got like a 90% chance to dodge or something. And there are essentially no phases in, other than, what is it, Vegito's AoE? There's essentially no phases except Vegito's AoE that actually interface with the way he gets his 90% or something, right? When I'll attacker in the, where is it? And there's a super enemy. Yeah. I think he should be good. The long and short of it is I think he should be good. The thing about him as well, though, is that if you love the GT bosses category, then he is like the perfect last unit. So we could build a team out sort of like this, right? Here. And again, I'm not even adding in anything else, but this character is going to EZA, and let's say that this counts as the, you know, last character or something. You could also move this character out, and then you're using this character, right? That looks really good. Like, this becomes an incredibly strong team, bathed in support, bathed in attack ups, not losing anything from his transition, not losing any of his ability to actually transform because he's got extreme allies everywhere. This becomes an incredibly powerful team. The downside, and I want to get to this now, is that, and let's go back to the US one. The downside for this baby is that the content is what it is. It's over. Like, you are not in a position right now with Dokkan where you need any more characters, period. You do not need a single new character to beat Dokkan. You have every single character by now at the end of the year. Right? We've been able to beat Festival Battles, even if it takes 4 hours, for 8 months. We've been able to beat Special Battle pretty reliably after the GDC. We've been able to beat Gohan, Goten, and Trunks Part 2 after the TDC or GDC or whatever the fuck, right? So we are sort of in a position where when you look at Dokkan on a macro level, when you actually have to like zoom out and be like, well, this is still a game that needs to be beaten. How do I beat the game, right? It doesn't really involve Baby. He's not super necessary. His team isn't super necessary. Erosion of Body and Mind, Fight for Fate, Battle of Fate in this case, not exactly like, you know, ring the dinner bell. I need this team to work. We're at the point where we have enough of more nebulous characters that we don't really need specifically these two categories to be strong. I mean, Battle of Fate is going to be incredible. Every character is on Battle of Fate typically. All of the strong characters end up being on Battle of Fate typically. It's just how Dokkan works out. So you can run something right now like 2 babies. You're going to be able to run Omega if you want him. Rose if you want him, obviously. Golden Frieza is really good. What is that, 4? Yeah, I think it's 4. And then, you're going to get to run this character who's 100% EZAing the Celebration 5. And again, I haven't even moved over to Crota Body Mind, which you would run the Int Majin Vegeta, who my eyes are glazing over. I can't find him. He's right here. So you would just run this guy, 6. By the end of this little, this little event, we should have a team of 6 characters. That's 2 EZAs. They're not exactly the hypest EZAs either for a lot of people. So it should be pretty easy to predict that they're coming, rather than being like, oh my god, it's like a carnival coming. Oh my god, it's like a DFE LR coming. Like, they're pretty standard fare. So Yeah, it's just hard to find the space for this character in your box, especially because Anniversary is coming. One problem a lot of people end up having is they just tell themselves, they lie to themselves. They say, well, I've still got 4 months till Anniversary, so it should be fine. Well, I still got 3 months to Anniversary, so it should be fine. Well, I have 2 months to Anniversary, it should be fine. Oh no, it's 1 month to Anniversary and I have no stones, right? So what I would do, and this is my last bit of advice for you if you're thinking about Great Ape Baby, is you pick him or you pick the possible LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta coming in part 2. You have to pick one. If you don't want to pick them, you pick next celebration. If you don't want to pick that celebration, you pick next celebration. If you don't want to pick that celebration, you pick Christmas celebration. If you don't pick that celebration, you pick New Year's, right? Because you're running out of slots. I think if you are a free-to-play player, low-spending player like myself, you have one more celebration to pull on. Pick it wisely. I don't think you have multiple characters left in you. And if you're going to say, well, I got lucky, shoulder shrug, but I don't account for that. I don't account for you getting, hitting a 0.7% when I tell you whether you should pull or not. Why would I? Why would anyone do that, right? So I would just say that if you're going to pull on this, you're probably done for the rest of the year. If you're going to pull on, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, let's say ZLR, you're probably done for the rest of the year. If you're going to pull on New Year's, you're probably done for the rest of the year. Obviously, we have Dokkan Day tickets coming up, which means that you still have a chance to pull the character. I literally did pull the character from tickets. Let me see. I pulled this character from tickets. Free to play. All right. Just be careful. Just be careful. Remember that Dokkan is closing in on its window. We are about to go into a slow period where there probably isn't going to be another event that you need a character to beat. If your only hope for beating a mission is Super Baby 2, I'm not gonna lie, the stones you spend on Super Baby 2 will not be made up by a single event. You will not gain the 500 stones back that you used pulling for Super Baby 2. Do not use missions as a cope. It is cope. It is cope. You need years of missions to make up for one character at pity. It is cope. A lot of the stones you're getting are from logins. A lot of the stones you're getting are from doing your dailies. A lot of stones you're getting are from the subscription pack. Like, do not think that because you get a random character that you're suddenly going to make up the 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 stones you spent. All right. That's all I got to say, though. Good luck to anyone pulling. Like I said, I will be hoping that I hit him on the free-to-play tickets. Super Baby 2 is one of my favorite characters in GT. I would say that he's probably my single favorite character in GT. I just think he looks sick. Was super excited when this character came to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Made a video saying that I think this character is desperate for a release before the end of the year. And hey, wouldn't you know it? So, like if you like the video, subscribe to the club, we will make it, and peace.